You like video games and you fancy delving into this thing called esports you've heard so much about. You've heard Twitch is the go-to place to watch, but once you do start watching, it's like there's a whole new language to learn and you wonder if esports is really for you after all. Well, I'm here to tell you, don't panic. Learn these terms and you will be debating with Twitch chat in no time at all. FPS is a first-person shooter. See Counter-Strike, Overwatch and Call of Duty. Quite simply, you're seeing things from a first-person perspective while you're shooting your enemies. Games that aren't strictly FPS but can still be played in the first person would be referred to as FPP, or first-person perspective, while a TPP game is third-person perspective, where you can see your in-game character as you move them. An RTS is a real-time strategy game, StarCraft 2 being a perfect example. Rather than being turn-based, two players go head-to-head in real time to defeat the other's base or assets by deploying various units at their disposal. A MOBA is a multiplayer online battle arena, see League of Legends or Dota 2. Stemming from single-player RTS games, MOBAs typically feature lanes and jungle, and players control one character each, rather than controlling different military groups. CCG stands for Collectible Card Game. Inspired by games such as Magic the Gathering, popular CCGs are typically spin-offs of famous franchises such as World of Warcraft's Hearthstone and Gwent, which began as an in-game game in the Witcher series. Usually free to play, players can diversify their decks by buying new packs of cards. Battle Royale titles are similar to the Japanese movie Battle Royale and the popular Hunger Games books. Players parachute onto an island either in squads or as solo players, loot for weapons and utilities and fight until the last player or team remains. Fortnite Battle Royale and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds are the most well-known examples. Fighting games are literally 1v1 fighting games such as Tekken 7, Street Fighter 5, Super Smash Bros. Melee and Dragon Ball FighterZ. Tournaments are organised by the FGC, the fighting game community. Sports games are the easiest to explain of all, the video game counterparts of popular sports such as EA's FIFA series. And alongside these sports simulators are games like Rocket League, which isn't a direct reflection of traditional sports but mixes in elements from soccer to create a unique gaming experience. Driving games are similar to sports games in their reflection of the real world and vary in their technical difficulty. Gran Turismo is probably the most famous driving game series of all time, although Forza and its spin-off Forza Horizon are the most recognisable driving games of the current console generation. A TO is a tournament organiser. They hold events both online and also offline, which is known as a LAN. These are local network events where teams are physically playing at the same venue rather than playing remotely online. A tanky character is quite simply a hero or champion that can take a lot of damage. This term is mostly used in the MOBA community alongside squishy, which is used to refer to characters that can deal a lot of damage but are low in health. A gank is when a player or group of players takes out a rival, usually by surprise. For example, in League of Legends, a jungler character may emerge into a lane and catch an enemy fatally unawares. In MOBAs, CS stands for creep score. This is a player's tally of final blows dealt to non-playable minions. A pentakill is earned by a MOBA player when they take out all 5 players of the enemy team. The Counter-Strike equivalent of this is an ace. CC is short for crowd control in MOBAs, for example when a player blocks their opponents using stun abilities or silencing their magic attacks. MOBA term SS is used by teams to warn each other that an opponent is no longer in their lane or expected position and therefore may be on the hunt for a victim in a different lane, so watch out for ganks. First blood can be heard in the commentary for multiple games and simply means that a player or team has made the first kill of the match or round. Common to many different games, a buff boosts the abilities of a character, either playable or non-playable. Buffs can be granted by another player through buying and using items or from completing objectives. The term buff is also applied when a character's attributes are adjusted by the development team. A nerf is the opposite of a buff. The meta is the current style in which the game is being played by the majority of users. The meta can be affected by numerous factors. It could be the strength of certain playable characters, making them must-picks for players, which in turn results in players being able to predict each other's playstyles and therefore have effective counter-strategies in place. We often see the meta in Overwatch dictated by the introduction of new heroes and the buffing and nerfing of existing heroes, while in a card game like Hearthstone, the meta will be influenced by the latest card expansion packs, which leads to new types of decks being developed by the community. DPS stands for damage per second and is commonly heard when describing characters that can deal high damage over a short period of time in Overwatch and other class-based titles. ADR is short for average damage per round, while KDR means kill-death ratio and literally compares the kills you have to the times you died in the match so far. A frag is a kill. You'll often hear it being used in games of Counter-Strike and PUBG. The term puggy is applied to players and teams in Counter-Strike who have a less methodical playstyle and will rely on their mechanical skill to take out the opposition rather than through executing pre-drilled tactics. And mechanical skill essentially means how good you are with a gun. Absolute was originated by the Halo community, but is now commonly said in COD to refer to a player who will be dead if they take just one more bullet. Not to be confused with one shot, which refers to taking down a player with a single headshot. FGC term Okazome, usually shortened to Oki, refers to a player pressurizing an opponent they've just knocked down in a fighting game, as they anticipate the way the opponent will return to their feet. An aerial is a high-skill move in Rocket League where players boost upon jumping and fly through the air. GLHF means good luck, have fun. GGWP stands for good game, well played, while the cheeky GG Easy means good game, easy, and is used by winning teams to troll their opponents. FTW stands for the win, and MVP is an accolade given to the most valuable player in the match or season.